2 months ago, I discovered this group of people who had decided to go around and find out the effects of globalization on the identity of the Quebec people and the Tibetans.
Yeah, this trip is about people and, helping people realize that globalization is affecting Tibet in a very negative way. The more people know about it, the better it is for the Tibetans.
I really believe that there's nothing but bad things for Quebec if they get their culture assimilated into Canadian culture.
Whoa! Chris, go back in there, flush the toilet, and wash your hands.
Globalization is helping Tibetan people develop a more modern identity. It also helps them understand what happens out of Asia. Globalization helps Tibet, and I want to prove that.
I just really believe that there's nothing but good things for Quebec if they let go and accept a new global identity. I mean, globalization is doing a lot more than just bringing cheap clothes to Quebec. It's giving them a chance at a modern identity. Let's go, Chris.
Our next stop is Estée Lauder in Quebec.
Yeah, once we're there, we can ask the locals about globalization and its specific effect on their identity.
I just want some French food. Anyone want poutine?
Yeah!
After 6 hours of immense torture, finally in Quebec.
Oh, look at all these stores in English. You can find these anywhere in the world.
In a world increasingly like this, it's better to just fit in. I mean, just because a Walmart moves into town doesn't mean you have to give up all of your culture and clothing.
Yeah, but then it eliminates all the Quebec culture and assimilates it into every other kind of culture.
I'm going to go have an interview with some guy named Edward Phalange. He's a supporter of globalization in Quebec.
Bonjour!
Oh, bonjour, monsieur. Question de cheveux de fromage.
Yeah, I do have some questions, so let's just cut straight to them. Do you believe that globalization and the influences it brings is completely wiping out Quebecois identity?
Lors de vêtements de main, de quelque chose de combien de moments.
But that just shows that Quebec is progressing into a more modern society. There's still a place for traditional culture, say, the home or a museum.
Oh, the visage c'est belle de nez, de stinky mouth.
Globalization might be bringing other cultures to Quebec. French is being taught in many different cultures. Globalization may cause a little dilution here, but the culture will live on a much global, broader scale.
Oh, oui, oui. Mais nouveau Québécois et de putain de c'est bien de combien de quelque chose.
Yes, but history has showed that Quebec has stayed strong. Shortly after becoming an English colony, there were strong attempts by the English to assimilate Quebec into an English-speaking colonist. But despite all this, the people persevered and fought through. If the preservation of identity is what the Quebec people want, then they should fight for it. But there's more. Quebec culture gains from outside influence as well. Rather than simply being shaped by globalization, Quebec can take those advantages and yet still have their own unique taste and culture regardless of the change.
L'impartitif de faire les intelligents de sucrose.
Well, take McDonald's for example. Have them serve some traditional Quebec food. So you still get your fast food, but you're still keeping the French style. Pass laws that encourage French to be spoken on the streets and in stores. Write books, use technology, and all the methods globalization brings to help preserve and help your culture.
What I've noticed about most anti-globalization people is that the best argument is that globalization is taking away their identity. But they don't realize that it can actually be a good thing. Common language eases communication. Having common foods and companies allow for less cultural shock, and you have a greater sense of belonging in our planet.
Globalization can be a very positive force in the preservation of identity. For example, the provincial government of Quebec recently published an act saying that by 2009, all video games should be translated into French, which will lead to all the youth of Quebec learning French and being more accustomed to it, which would lead to preservation. This shows that globalization isn't just a cultural steamroller, but can in fact help aid all aspects of a culture.
Oh man! Oh man, that's good. Oh, you missed the spot right there.
Where?
Right there.